Global ETF assets now total more than $10 trillion, a figure that is 10 times greater than the comparable number in 2010. The data, which was published in research by Bloomberg Intelligence, identified SPY, the S&P 500 tracker, as being one of the largest ETFs with assets under management of $426 billion. Goldman Sachs published its 2022 equity outlook this week, and the bank is targeting a year-end 2022 target for the S&P 500 of 5,100, and that in turn implies a year-end 2022 value for SPY of 509.17. Ark Investment, the manager of the Ark Innovation ETF, published research this week that explained why the activity-managed ETF remains bullish on one of its largest holdings, Tesla, even as its CEO and the world's richest person, Elon Musk, continued to sell stock in the electric vehicle and battery manufacturer. Ark believes that the cost of EV batteries will begin to fall sharply during the next 5 to 10 years as the technology evolves, and that in turn will boost turnover and profitability at Tesla, which itself would drive further gains for Ark's significant holding in the EV maker. TLT tracks the price performance of longer-dated U.S. government bonds, which of course are dollar-denominated assets. Money has been flooding into the U.S. dollar recently, and that should have benefited TLT as money coming into the U.S. dollar would normally look for a safe haven in U.S. Treasury bonds. However, that hasn't happened this time out. In fact, TLT's stock has been weakening as the dollar has strengthened. That suggests that flows into the dollar are being driven by expectations of higher U.S. interest rates, which would drive bond prices down and bond yields up, in order for them to compete with higher returns available on cash deposits. The Fed hasn't signaled any change in policy, but the markets think they can sense a change coming. A stronger dollar has historically been beneficial for oil prices. However, over the last year, crude oil prices have been driven by many other factors, with the U.S. currency coming low down on the list of major influences. For example, USO, the U.S. Oil Fund ETF, is up 92% over the last 52 weeks, whereas the dollar index has gained just 3.79% in that timeframe. USO's stock dropped last week as WTI crude prices sold off and prices initially stabilized following an unexpected drawdown of gasoline supplies from Cushing, Oklahoma. However, warnings about excess crude supplies from OPEC and the IEA on Wednesday dented crude prices once more, as both organizations suggested that the supply side of the oil price equation will start to become more dominant into 2022, something that could keep the downside pressure on the USO stock price.